Good morning and happy Thursday. Hope you're having a fantastic day. It's gorgeous and sunny here today. I've already had my morning run. I have the washer going, the dryer going, and the dishwasher's been emptied. So we have a fantastic start to our day. I'm dressed down to my lace-up shoes and ready to move on to the next thing. So everything is going well this morning because I did my before bed routine last night, had things lined up for this morning, so it was easy to get up and jump into what I needed to do. Today I wrote on my blog about decluttering books from our bookshelves, or decluttering books if we just have piles of books sitting around, and I think I hit a few of you really quick on the bookshelf thing because I've already had email responses this morning about books and bookshelves. We like books. As homeschoolers, we love to collect books because if we have a lot of books, that means our kids are going to get a good education, right? That's not always the case. If you have books, that's wonderful, but if they've taken over all the flat surfaces in your house and you have piles and crates of them, you have too many books. So take it one thing at a time. Look at your bookshelves today. Do you have a collection of books that have just been sitting there collecting dust for years? Think about how you could use those in another way. Do you need to box them up? Can you give them away? Let's make room on our bookshelves for the books that we're actually using a lot this year and move on and get rid of some of the books that we're not. Now, some of us like to do history in a 4-year cycle, and I understand that you have books that you use once every 4 years when you do that. I do that all the time. It's not a big deal, but I keep those in bookshelves and rotate through them. And when I cycle back into a certain time period, I go through the books and decide, am I using this book? Do I need it? Do we really want to keep it on the bookshelf? Because it is taking up space. So that's how I approach my books that I have for history. Science, I go through different phases of physical science, earth science, biology, chemistry. So those are sorted that way too. And I also look at those and say, have we gone through these books enough that we need to pass them on? So I look at that carefully each year, but today I want you to just look at those bookshelves and see what you can do to make them look better, get all the books that you have up on a bookshelf, and give away some that you're not using. If you have a lot of early childhood books and your oldest child is 10 or 11 years old, you can probably let go of some of those. That's what I've been doing with my 11-year-old. As he outgrows books, I pass them on to other people. I've sent my sister a box of books. I donate to the Boys and Girls Club. I take books to our homeschool moms meeting and give them away. Anything to get books into the hands of somebody who can really use them versus them sitting on my bookshelf, taking up space and collecting dust. Your zone mission today is to work on those bookshelves 5, 10, 15 minutes. I'm not saying do it all day long, just a little bit at a time. Declutter some paper today. Declutter any magazines if you've been collecting magazines. If you've got this big art project in mind and you've been holding on to magazines for a while, decide how many you actually need and let go of some of those. Pass them on. Waiting rooms in doctor's offices, hospitals, nursing homes, they love to get magazines for their residents and for people that are sitting there waiting to see somebody. So there are ways to pass on your magazines. Just take your address off of it and find a way to pass it on to somebody else. And I want you to really think about this paper thing. Spend 5 minutes a day, every day, getting rid of paper. If you don't have 5 minutes that you can commit to it, commit 2. If you can regularly declutter paper, you're going to have less to deal with on a regular basis. I promise. And I know you just don't like dealing with paper. I don't love it, but I do it regularly because I know it helps me to not have to have piles and piles of paper. And as homeschoolers, we like to collect paper. We like to have all this stuff. If your state does not require you to have a portfolio, you do not have to keep every single paper that your child has created. You can let go. Take pictures of art projects and pass those on to family members. Pass them on to people that you care about who are friends, who don't have, grandkids or kids living nearby. There are ways you can share your children's artwork and still keep the memories for yourself. So let's work on getting rid of some of this stuff that is taking over and having all these piles around our house and all the corners stuffed with books and all the places piled with things. Let's work at that this week. Thanks for your comment, Nancy. Yes, it does work if you deal with your paper every day. I keep a stack that is like 2 or 3 pages of paper that I need to deal with each day. I have my little to-do list. Sometimes I have a form I need to fill out and mail back somewhere, and I've had that a lot this summer dealing with my son's car accident. He's had lots and lots of forms that we've had to go through. And I always check and make sure my bills are paid and ready to go. So those papers are important to me, and I keep up with those. The rest of them, I let go and just let them have their place in the trash or through the shredder. So work at that, and I think you'll find that it gives you a lot of peace. I want you to have a fantastic day. Get outside if it's pretty and get you a little bit of vitamin D before our weather starts changing a lot more and we start having these shorter days. So while it's pretty this fall, get out for 5 to 10 minutes with the kids. Let them do nature journaling and soak up that natural vitamin D. So have a fantastic day, and I will see you guys tomorrow.